Have you ever walked into your yard only to stop in your tracks after seeing a large dead deer lying in the grass? It's an unsettling sight that most homeowners never expect to face. Your mind immediately fills with questions. What happened? Is it dangerous? Who do I call? Will the city of Houston remove it, or is it my responsibility? And how quickly does it need to be removed? If you found a dead deer on your property in Houston, Texas, you're certainly not alone. As Houston continues to expand into areas that were once heavily wooded, encounters between people and wildlife have become more common. White-tailed deer frequently travel through parks, green belts, wooded neighborhoods, and undeveloped land. Unfortunately, some are struck by vehicles, suffer injuries, become ill, or die of natural causes. In some cases, they wander onto private property before they die. Knowing what to do next can save you time, reduce stress, and help protect your family, pets, and property. In this video, we'll answer the most common questions homeowners ask about finding a dead deer in Houston. We'll explain who is responsible for removing it, discuss the health risks, cover what professional removal typically involves, and share practical tips to help you handle the situation safely. Why are dead deer found in Houston? Houston may be one of the largest cities in the United States, but it's also surrounded by parks, forests, bayous, nature preserves, and suburban neighborhoods where wildlife is abundant. White-tailed deer naturally travel long distances in search of food, water, and shelter. Some of the most common reasons a dead deer ends up on private property include vehicle collisions, illness or disease, old age, injuries from fences or other obstacles, predator attacks, severe weather or flooding complications during mating season. An injured deer may travel hundreds of yards or even farther before collapsing. That's why a homeowner may discover a dead deer in the backyard, even if there wasn't an accident nearby. Who do I call if there's a dead deer on my property in Houston? The first thing to know is that the answer depends on where the deer is located. If the deer is lying entirely on your private property, such as your yard, garden, wooded lot, or commercial property, the responsibility for removal generally falls on the property owner. Many homeowners choose to hire a professional dead animal removal company because moving a large deer safely requires proper equipment, protective gear, and experience. If the deer is located on a public roadway, highway, or other public property, the responsible government agency may handle the removal. The correct agency depends on whether the road is maintained by the City of Houston, Harris County, or the Texas Department of Transportation. Knowing exactly where the deer is located can help you contact the appropriate organization and avoid unnecessary delays. Does the City of Houston remove dead deer? This is one of the most common questions homeowners ask. In general, city or county crews may remove dead animals that are located on public roads or other government-maintained property. However, they typically do not remove dead deer from private residential or commercial properties. If the deer is inside your backyard, next to your home, behind a fence, near your swimming pool, or elsewhere on your property, you'll likely need to arrange for removal yourself. Because policies can change over time, it's always a good idea to verify local procedures with the appropriate city or county department. Why shouldn't you remove a dead deer yourself? Although it may seem like a way to save money, removing a dead deer yourself is usually not recommended. An adult deer can weigh anywhere from 100 to well over 250 pounds. Moving that much weight can easily lead to back injuries, muscle strains, or accidents. There's also the health concern. As decomposition begins, a deer carcass can attract ticks, fleas, flies, maggots, beetles, other insects. In addition, carcasses can contain bacteria and other microorganisms that you should avoid contacting directly. Without proper gloves, protective clothing, lifting equipment, and disposal methods, attempting to move a deer yourself can expose you to unnecessary risks. Are dead deer dangerous to your health? A dead deer should always be treated with caution. As decomposition progresses, bacteria naturally multiply, insects gather around the carcass, and strong odors begin to develop. While not every dead deer carries diseases that affect humans, direct contact with blood, bodily fluids, parasites, or decomposing tissue should always be avoided. And the longer the deer remains in place, the greater the chance it will attract flies and scavenging animals. If the carcass is located close to your home, deck, patio, or outdoor living area, you'll likely notice odors becoming much stronger over the following days, especially during Houston's warm weather. Can a dead deer attract other wildlife? Yes. A decomposing deer becomes a food source for many scavengers. Depending on your location, a dead deer may attract coyotes, vultures, buzzards, raccoons, opossums, foxes, stray dogs, feral hogs. In some areas, these animals may visit repeatedly until the carcass is gone. In addition to creating another nuisance, some scavengers may become aggressive if they feel threatened while feeding. Prompt removal helps reduce the likelihood of attracting unwanted wildlife to your property. Can pets get sick from a dead deer? Curious dogs are especially attracted to animal carcasses because of their scent. Allowing a dog to sniff, lick, or chew on a decomposing deer can expose the animal to bacteria, parasites, and other potential health concerns. Pets may also carry ticks or fleas from the carcass back into your home. If your dog or cat has had direct contact with a dead deer and later develops vomiting, diarrhea, fever, or unusual behavior, contact your veterinarian for guidance. The safest approach is to keep pets away from the carcass until it has been professionally removed. How much does dead deer removal cost? The cost of removing a dead deer varies depending on several factors. These include the size of the deer, how long it has been decomposing, accessibility, whether special equipment is needed, travel distance, local disposal requirements. For example, removing a deer from an open backyard is generally simpler than removing one from a swimming pool, drainage ditch, wooded ravine, or beneath a deck. Because every situation is different, many companies provide pricing based on the specific circumstances rather than a flat fee. What if the deer is in a difficult location? Not every removal is straightforward. Some of the more challenging situations include deer stuck in fences, deer floating in swimming pools, deer under decks or porches, deer inside wooded areas, deer in drainage ditches, deer along creek banks, deer trapped between retaining walls, deer in ponds. These situations often require specialized equipment and careful handling to avoid property damage. Trying to remove a deer from one of these locations without experience can create additional problems or even cause injury. How quickly should a dead deer be removed? The simple answer is as soon as possible. Houston's hot and humid climate speeds up decomposition. Within a short period, homeowners may begin noticing strong odors, increase fly activity, maggots, more scavenging animals, greater insect activity. Removing the deer promptly helps reduce these issues and makes the cleanup process much easier. Waiting several days often allows conditions to become significantly worse. What should you do if you find a dead deer? If you discover a dead deer on your property, follow these simple steps. Keep children away from the area. Keep pets indoors or on a leash. Avoid touching or moving the carcass. Do not attempt to drag it across your yard. Identify whether it's on private or public property. Contact the appropriate removal service if necessary. These simple precautions can help reduce unnecessary exposure while the deer is being removed. Final thoughts. Finding a dead deer on your property can be an unpleasant and stressful experience, but knowing what to do makes the situation much easier to handle. Whether the deer died from a vehicle collision, illness, or natural causes, the most important steps are identifying who is responsible for removal, keeping people and pets away from the carcass, and acting quickly before odors, insects, and scavengers become a much bigger problem. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing to our channel Dead Animal TV for more homeowner guides covering dead wildlife, property safety, and practical tips for handling unexpected situations. Thanks for watching, and stay safe.